when the time comes that you see a problem like this on standardized test, okay, and again, it'll likely be one where you can't use your TI-89. So again, ACT, you don't get to use TI-89, or it would be on the no calculator portion of the SAT. The way that you're going to approach this is you turn it into I-squareds, okay? I-squareds and I's. So what you want to do is you want to break down this expression here in terms of an I-squared. Okay, so if you use the properties of exponents, what even number is closest to, or what number can you multiply by 2 to get closest to 27? 13, right? So if you think of this as I-squared to the power of 13, how many more i's are you going to have left? 1. So right here is how we broke that down. And what you can now do is replace I-squared with what? So now you have -1 to the 13th times I. Well, what is -1 to an odd power? -1 times I. So you see that your answer is just -I. Okay? So that's the process. You don't have to memorize a pattern or anything, although you can. There is a pattern that's associated with this. Okay? But as you're going through this process, if you were to think of this as, I'll kind of go, I'll use these I to the 8th, I to the 9th, I to the 10th, and I to the 11th. And if you kind of think of each of these, you'll kind of see the pattern's going to repeat itself. There's 4 different answers that you can have here. Okay? You don't have to remember the pattern at all, though, because if you think of this as I squared to what power here? 4. Now you think I squared is -1 to the 4th is equal to? So now remember there's no i's left here, so it's just a -1 to the 4th or 1. If you have I to the 9th, the next one up here, if we move, so I squared, we get 4 of them plus 1 more I. So I squared is a -1 to the 4th times I. -1 to the 4th is 1 times I, giving you I. So you can kind of see how this pattern develops. Here you get I squared to the 5th. I squared is -1. A -1 to an odd power is -1. And then up here, again, you're looking at I squared to the 5th times 1 more I, gives you -1 to the 5th times I, which gives you -1 I or -I. It's going to be one of these, and like I said, you don't have to try to remember a pattern, because if I give you a number, okay, I want you to try to simplify this one here. Always just put it in terms of I squared to the what power? 150. I squared is -1. -1 to an even power becomes 1, and that would be your solution.